Hello! This video is a follow-up video to the last one, which was an apology, which I'm going to link in the description. I want to first start off by saying thank you so much to anyone who took the time to comment. There were so many comments that were very long and thought out and very educational and insightful. I took a little bit of a break from social media. It's been a week and a half at this point, and we have still been reading all the comments, and Stevie's been helping us especially pick out more important ones, especially Black voices, bringing up really helpful things that we can incorporate in the future and moving forward, and ways to kind of attempt to make reparations and be more anti-racist continually going forward. So that's what this video is going to be about, kind of going forward, what I've learned. I have done a ton of like self-educating, I guess, a ton of like YouTube and documentary and like seminar and just like any piece of media from Black people always that I can get on specific issues, especially about dreads and locks, to inform myself more on that. I definitely learned a long time ago that like locks were not for me, and I understood that like it's not just hair, and hair is very culturally significant, you know, you should not appropriate that sort of thing, but it was really great to actually actively go and research the history about it and hear Black people talk about why this is harmful. I made a list of areas in my life and interests and communities I participate in, and I looked up the like intersectional and like race related origins for all of them, like clowning, drag, which I already knew a bit about, but I looked into it further, marijuana, watched a bunch of videos about AAVE, and I am making an effort to pluck out, I'm like analyzing my vocabulary and I'm trying to pluck out any AAVE that's in there. I started with things that were brought up in the comments that I thought I could learn about and do better with. One thing was clowns. I have been collecting like thrift store ceramic clowns here and there, and sometimes I have done like clowncore makeup. I have one TikTok where I talk about like hee, people say I look like a clown and that's the point, hee. And so I watched a bunch of stuff and read a bunch of stuff about the racist origins of clowning and like which kinds of clowns come from where and which parts of the clown tropes come from where. And I think that might be an interesting conversation to have in these comments as well, in the whole clowning sphere. Like, where do you draw the line and what's okay, and should white people just stay away because it's obviously a very powerful form of reclamation for Black people, and clowning is a whole industry. You can go to clown school, like it's a whole profession, and now clowncore is this whole like thing. Anyway, so I would love to have a conversation about that, because there's only so much you can just research yourself and like not talk to other people about. And I'm sure there's some other people that engage in clowncore, so maybe, yeah, this would be a cool place to chat about that. I also found some really great resources about different types of natural hair and how it's been like fully discriminated against, and how, yeah, it's absolutely not just hair, especially when you could be like denied a job or like kicked out of school for having your natural hair. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And like, these are things that I knew, please. Just take comfort in the fact that I knew most of this, thank God. It was a lot of relearning, but a lot of the like historical stuff, like the different types of clowns, was really good for me to learn about. On the note of marijuana, I just watched a really great like seminar panel thing today while I did my makeup about that and race equity and how we can push forward to make it more equal for everyone moving forward and make reparations, because oh my god, it is awful. Horrific, like awful and horrific. A couple things that were brought up in the comments that I also want to acknowledge here. One was that around BLM, I created like a Black-owned business playlist, and I also talked about making more of an effort to uplift Black creators specifically and feature them on my channel. And I never really like followed through with that in a big way. I would always like mention Black-owned brands and creators here and there kind of randomly and like retweet things here and there. But the playlist pretty much stayed the same. It's also because I wasn't buying a lot in general, but I think we found a really good way to incorporate uplifting Black creators and all creators in general in a more consistent and like continual sustainable basis on my channel from here on. And Stevie actually helped with the suggestion as well, but kind of similar to the end of my videos where I do like a Feature Confetti Club member, we're going to be incorporating like a, I don't know what it's going to be called exactly yet, but just content favorites. And it might be every video, every other video. It'll probably be pretty much every video because there's a lot of creators that I absolutely love. Because like, I gotta say, my feeds are pretty diverse, which is good. I've been working to diversify it even more, and I've been screenshotting a ton of creators that I absolutely love, that you guys will love as well, that are also in like sustainable spheres, mental health spheres, fashion spheres, like sustainable fashion spheres, some really cool creators. But yeah, that way it's more organic as well than if I came back with this like follow-up apology moving forward video and like featured one Black creator or one video. I really wanted to avoid flooding one person and overwhelming them in response to this like apology thing. I think that would be kind of shitty, and I really want to avoid that. So that's why I'm going to more organically integrate it forevermore, and I'm not coming back here with like, here's every person of color that I follow. Like, I don't think that would be the right way to go about it. So let me know what you guys think about that down below. The other comment that I really wanted to address that we got a couple of times is about a picture that kind of looks a bit incriminating, but I looked further into it and I looked for context because I was like, what is going on here? A couple of people mentioned that there is a photo going around of me touching a Black person's hair. This was at the 2018 Kawaii Society meetup that I had in New York City. There were maybe 200 people, and this was the part where I'm standing kind of at the beginning of the candy bar place, and people are coming in like in a sweet little line, and I'm greeting and hugging if people want it, and like crying and embracing. Each person would come and we get a picture and usually a hug. So I don't want to excuse the fact that my hand did touch her head and that could have caused distress or anger or hurt. I did look into it and I found under that image, like right after they were posted, I said that this sweet girl was crying and super shy, and I was giving her like a motherly pat, which does sound maybe cringe and weird and like, don't pat people's heads. I just hope that you understand that my intent was not to feel her hair in any way. I was just like comforting. Like, I do still deeply apologize for the fact that I did that, again, ignorantly. If I had known better and if I was more educated on hair touching and why it's not just hair and how that is a microaggression, I probably would have just like touched her shoulders or something, or just been like, like just like lightly put my hand on her back. I probably would have avoided touching her head. But yeah, so I do apologize. And so that's another thing that I educated myself on this past week and a half. I watched lots of videos about hair touching, a really great TED Talk about it as well. It doesn't feel right to me to monetize this video either. I think the next video that I post will likely just be like a vlog or some sort of unrelated content, if that's alright, if this comment section thinks that like this kind of ties up loose ends and is a good plan and a good way of going about things. And my next video, I am going to obviously monetize because it'll be unrelated, and I think it would be a good idea to donate all of the AdSense from that video to either an organization or an individual or a couple of individuals. That's another thing I'd really love to hear your thoughts about, whether there's a good organization, a charity, or like a project or a GoFundMe, like an individual person, or people that I should throw my money at. So yeah, really appreciate you, appreciate your time that you took to watch this, anytime you took to comment. Super appreciated. Repeating myself, but just like thank you. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.